Today is the 30th day of August 2020 in Abaco, Bahamas. In 2 days will be the first anniversary of Hurricane Dorian. Wow. Still a whirlwind. I saw the news came up on my phone. You don't get too much news. And they saying about the Hurricane Laura that passed through Louisiana. 16 dead. They're gonna be 2 weeks without electricity and water, and they're gonna take years to rebuild. I say, boy, we wish we had their problem. 2 weeks we have had come Tuesday. We'll have a year without power on Front Street, Dundastan, in my hometown. And I don't know who got the switch on the water. They shut off the water when the water should be on. When it should be on, they shut it off. They are confused in the water department here in Abaco. And my videos are done basically for information, correct information. Because one lady said I have to do my investigation. I've already done my investigation. When I speak on a subject matter that they can't speak on because they don't live here. Y'all that come and go, you can't speak to this power. You have to see it, smell it, touch it daily to know the subject matter. And I did a video, laid to rest my good friend Rusty in the Marsh Harbor graveyard. And I noted that the funeral home that was doing the funeral was Evergreen. A lady that says she cares about Abaconians and she want to represent Abaco in the House Assembly. That's all hogwash. That could never happen. I don't care if you come as the Messiah, that can't happen. Forget you. But it raises a lot of eyebrow. My videos are, sometimes it cuts you because the truth hurt. And it also is like when you turn on the light and the room is full with cockroaches, what do? They hide and run. No minute time, there's no roaches in the room. You shut the light off, they congregate. That is what's happening in Abaco. And indeed with this person. So I reported, and she's not the only one to blame. The government agency is to blame also. But Mackie Penn put a casket in the Smiths family grave from September. This September would be a year. This is a funeral home owner and director. Their funeral home was in the grave 2 days ago. They left the casket still without proper burial. But she wants to represent North Abaco because she cares about them. She is in the dead business and left the dead above ground for 1 year. Then I talk about how low can you go. You know how low you can go? 6 feet in the ground. Some go lower than that. But you gotta be low. When Hurricane Dorian has made you significant enough to think that you could represent a people whom you haven't lived among for over 40 years, or how many years you've been on earth, you have not lived among your people. And then you use the debt. This is the lowest of the low. When you use the debts of Hurricane Dorian to obtain $47,000. You said, you wrote me that day, yesterday with your smart self, and say when a service is rendered, you ought to be paid. But what you forgot when you was at the typewriter, you forgot that you told the government and the other funeral homes that y'all would do it for free because these are your Abaco people. You went behind them and collect the $47,000. Then you used the debt money, the money that you used to collect our dead. You're gonna throw it back at us, paying for hotel room, paying for your little gas, $20 vulture, your $5,000 plywood. And guess who you're using to promote you? Somebody that couldn't get elected in the peace nor the mud. His own despise him because he ain't ready. But the dead that you're using only becomes significant. Had no interest in Abaco because you are FNM. You are FNM today. That's who you vote for, and that's who you campaign for. And that's all. But this is the debt part. I thought about this last night. I said, let me run this here. They think they smart, and Abaco people ain't got no sense. You became a PLP after you put in a bill of $400,000 to bury your Abaco people that you care so much about. And then you tell the government, nobody else will get none of the $400,000. These are your people. There again, you're trying to use the dead to gain monetary strength. It was never about Abaco. 1 year later, you care so much about the death and the burial of Abaconians. Why is this body still above ground in the Smith family's plot when you promised that you will move it the first, second, third, fourth week of September, and it's still there? That's how much you care. That is some caring, eh? Is that how you're gonna leave us in Abaco? Get the money like you did for the funeral this week, back on the plane, and if we don't pay, we remain above ground? Is that the representation that we could expect if we were fool enough to elect you? Surely that can't happen. Surely not. Buddy, let me tell you something. This Maki Penn, she is a good act. If she was on soap opera, she would be a hit. She's in the real world playing soap opera. I saw her on TV putting all hell on the FNM government that she elected about the mishandling of the bodies after Hurricane Dorian. Well, guess what, Abaco? Guess what's my 1,000 Facebook friends? The government of the Bahamas was not on the ground immediately after Hurricane Dorian. Maki Penn brought the crew. She assembled the crew here. If there was any mismanagement of the body, it goes right to the feet of Maki Penn. When she collected the body, if she knew her job and did her job professionally, she should have put a tag on the toes of each body. Because every time a crowd say a loved one has died, immediately the loved one went to the clinic before the body became decomposed. That is why she had pictures of Astrid and the rest of them. She took pictures, but she never tagged the body. She got a whole album of our dead. She knows it better than the government, but she was holding it hostage for cash cow and to badmouth the government. When she was in charge of collecting the bodies immediately and got $47,000. That's why she could buy a vote, try to be of somebody that cares, and could throw the dead money back at us in the form of gas vulture. That's dead people money. That's hurricane victims suffering.